in Chhattisgarh religious landscape also. The temple structures, iconography, and the religious practices prevailed during this period, likely to be shaped by the region's religious tradition. So basically, in Chhattisgarh, Hinduism practices got direct influence from Guptas. Now, if we will talk about art and architecture, the Gupta period saw a flourishing of artistic expression. Chhattisgarh was not an exception. Though there are few structural remains of Gupta period survive in Chhattisgarh, the artistic style of the era likely to be influenced by the later temple architecture and sculpture in the region. Yesterday, we have understood that Gandhar form of temple have been introduced by these Gupta dynasty people. I have told you the structure, how this Gandhar form of temple look like. If you remember, yesterday we have discussed that this is the temple, then this is the Garbhagriha, and then there is some other lobby area. This was Gandhar structure, right? So definitely in Chhattisgarh also lots of temples have been constructed over this Gandhar pattern, which shows that yes, this area had direct influence of Gupta dynasty rulers. Now, if we will talk about the legacy of Gupta in Chhattisgarh, so the Gupta period, though perhaps not having direct influence in Chhattisgarh, left an indelible mark on the Chhattisgarh region, the foundation for the future kingdoms. This administrative and cultural practice introduced in by Gupta era likely laid the foundation for development of later kingdoms in Chhattisgarh, such as Sara, Bhupuriyas, and Pandu Vamsis. So today we are going to talk about these two dynasties of Chhattisgarh. These dynasties got motivated from Gupta period only. So if we will talk about Sahara, Puriyas, and Pandu Vamsis dynasties of Chhattisgarh, they were very much motivated and directly or indirectly influenced by Gupta dynasty. Now, if we will talk about the cultural continuity, the construction of temple of Gandhar pattern, Gandhar scripture has continued till today also in the area of Chhattisgarh. And this idea has emerged from Gupta dynasty rulers only, right? The artistic style, social norms continue to influence the area of Chhattisgarh even today. If we will talk about the historic significance, understanding the Gupta influence period, valuable insights into the Chhattisgarh history highlight its connection to broader historical trends and developments in India. Now, there is a small thing I want to discuss with all of you. Whatever we have discussed in yesterday's and day before yesterday class, the PDF of that you will get in the app, in that download section, free content section. Now, heading towards next dynasty, this dynasty is the local dynasty of Chhattisgarh, right? That is Tarabpuriya dynasty of Chhattisgarh. Now, this is the dynasty emerged after Gupta dynasty, but it was very much motivated by Gupta dynasty. Now, Saharapuriya dynasty has the influential family ruling, as we have seen in Gupta dynasty also, that it was having hierarchy system, right? And then it was having the imperialism system, where the members of a particular family is gonna become the king, right? Like the son, then grandson, then the great grandson, and then so on. It keeps going like this. So the same pattern was followed by Saravpuriya dynasty of Chhattisgarh. And this dynasty has got its administration and controlling very much influenced by Gupta dynasty. Now, emerged in the late ancient period in the region known as Chhattisgarh, it flourished during 5th and 6th century CE, right? So, from 500 to 600 AD, we can say that this dynasty has emerged in Chhattisgarh, like almost you can say 1500 to 1400 years ago from today, and contributed significantly in the political, cultural, and religious landscape of the central India. This region has marked a period of political consolidation. Now, Saharapuria dynasty is important because it came up with the idea of political consolidation in the region. Right? What does it mean? They tried to unite the whole area of Chhattisgarh as one. Cultural renaissance. That means the cultural renaissance means change. You people would have heard this thing. Renaissance means punarjagran in Hindi. Renaissance has influenced French people. Renaissance has influenced Indian people. So in the same way, they have done cultural renaissance, like the cultural advancement in the area of Chhattisgarh, and that was very much motivated by Gupta dynasty ruler. Okay, and agricultural advancement. Now, if we will talk about the emergence and rule of Sarapuria dynasty, so if we will talk about the historical background of Sarapuria dynasty, it was succeeded by the Nala dynasty of Dakshin Kosala region. We know Dakshin Kosala is Chhattisgarh. Yesterday we have discussed that after 16 Mahajanpadas, Dakshin Kosala region was Chhattisgarh region, which covered the modern day Chhattisgarh and some area of Odisha. There they derived their name Sarapuria from believed to be their capital. So their capital name was Sarabpura. And from there they have emerged as Sarab Puriya dynasty. In the same way, when we say Nalanda dynasty, Takshila dynasty, so these are the dynasties ruled over the area of Nalanda or Takshila. Right. In the same way, there was an area Sarapura where these Sarapuriya people used to rule, and that's how they got their dynasty name as Sarapuriya dynasty. Though its exact location is debated, it is generally identified the site in present day Sirpur. It is an important agricultural site of Chhattisgarh. Tarapuria ruled from 5th and 6th century, a time characterized by the transitions in Indian political cultural region, with regional kingdom getting prominence. If we will talk about the founding of the dynasty was founded by Sarab Deva. Sarab Deva has founded this dynasty. Now, though the detailed record about him remains sparse, now the problem over Chhattisgarh history is that most of it is uncodified. It is not written in form of a book or something. So that's why it is very much debated, right? Now, but majorly we can say that Sarab Deva was the founder of Tarapuria dynasty. He established control over the fragmented territories in the region after the decline of Nalas. Now, the dynasties was ruled used to have the titles like Maharaj and aligned themselves with the contemporary Gupta dynasty. If you remember, yesterday we have discussed Chandragupta II. Vikramaditya got the title of Maharaj Adiraj. How he got this title? Maharaj Adiraj from means the king of kings. So who were the kings? Among those kings, Sarapuria were also some Maharajs, right? And they were contemporary to the Gupta dynasty people. Now, if we will talk about the key rulers of this dynasty, its ruler was Sarab Deva, who was the founder, right? He has consolidated the power and laid the foundation of the dynasty in Dakshin Kosala. Next ruler was, now here this is important. सारबदेवा डायनेस्टी का फाउंडर कौन था? सारपुरिया डायनेस्टी का फाउंडर कौन था? सारबदेवा. It's very simple to understand. Sarapuria, founder is Sarabdeva. Capital city was Sarabpura. Next successor was Maharaj Narendra. He strengthened the political structure and initiated the cultural projects that reflected in Gupta's influence. Then, next successor was Maharaj Pravaraj. Maharaj Pravaraj has can be considered a notable ruler under whose region Sarapuria reached at its zenith. Zenith means peak. So Sarapuria dynasty has reached at its peak under the ruling of Pravaraja. He is credited with promoting religious and cultural activities, especially in Buddhism and Hinduism. Now, let's understand the decline of Sarapuria dynasty. The decline of Sarapuria dynasty coincided with the rise of Pandu Vamishis of South Coast. So Sarapuria people have declined and then Pandu Vamishis have emerged. It is same as like Nanda dynasty has declined, then Maurya dynasty has come into existence in the same region. So in the region of Chhattisgarh or South Koshala, earlier there was Sarapuria dynasty that has declined and then Pandu Vamishis dynasty has emerged, who have eventually took over their territories in the 6th century CE. So in 600 AD, more or less, Pandu Vamishis took control from Sarapuria people. Now, the precise region of their decline remain unclear, but often attributed to the internal strife and external invasion. So, how Sarapuria dynasty has come to an end? Due to internal disturbance and external attackers' invasion. Right? Now, if we will talk about the political achievement of Sarapuria dynasty, Sarapuria have structured a well-organized administrative system that balances central authority with local or self-governing bodies. They issued inscription and charters, including the structured bureaucracy. So they came up with the idea of Afsar Sahi, right? They appointed revenue collecting officer. They appointed pasture land tax collecting officer, right? They imposed house tax. They imposed sales tax. They have imposed import and export duties. These Sarapuria people, right? That facilitated the distribution of land grants and administration of justice. These Sarapuria people have also established the court of ruler for serving justice. You people would have seen in numerous of TV serials like in Ramayana, Mahabharata, Tenali Rama, where one person is aggrieved from another person and they goes to the ruler's court, and then the ruler acts as a judge and he provides justice. So the same format used to be followed by these Sarapuria people also. Now, the inscriptions were written in Sanskrit and Prakrit. That is important for you to understand that Sarapuria people have their language of Sanskrit and Prakrit. So they were using two languages. If you want, you can write it somewhere in your notebook that Sarapuria people had Sanskrit and Prakrit language. Till their effort to legitimate their rule through the religious patronage and alliance. If we will talk about the military strength of Sarapuria people, while specific detail to their military campaigns are not available, the Sarapuria maintain a strong defense in their territory against rival powers like Vakatakas and Pallavas. Vakatakas and Pallavas, these are towards the southern portion, like Andhra and Karnataka. So, to prevent their territory of Dachin Kosala Chhattisgarh from Vakatakas and Pallavas, they have formed an army. That troops are available. Now, the alliance with other dynasties such as Gupta suggests the strategic approach for maintaining regional dominance. These people have created various kind of pacts with Gupta dynasty to protect their territory from Pallavas and Vakatakas. Now, if we will talk about the diplomatic relations of Sarapuriya people, the Sarapuriyas actively sought alliance with powerful neighbors, including Guptas, to strengthen their position in the region. They promoted dynastic marriage to secure political stability and alliance. Let's talk about the cultural achievements. Religious patronage. So the Sarapuriya people were patrons of both Hinduism and Buddhism. So Sarapuriya people promoted two religions, that is Hinduism and Buddhism, reflecting the syncretic culture of the region. They were not promoting only one religion, like Gupta people were promoting only Hinduism. Before Gupta, like Ashoka was promoting only Buddhism, but these people have given importance to both the religion. So that is a sort of not secular approach, because some of the rulers of Sarapuria were promoting Hinduism, other rulers were promoting Buddhism. They built temples dedicated to Vishnu and Shiva, and also created some Buddhistic monasteries and stupas, right? So they have created temples of Shiva and Vishnu. And Shiva and Vishnu temples creation shows that these people have influence over Shaiv and Vaishnav people. Now, later in this time period, Hinduism has also divided into two parts, Shaiv and Vaishnav. Shaiv means the people who are worshipping Shiva, and Vaishnav means the people who are worshipping Vishnu as their idol. So, they have maintained Hinduism, Shaiv, Vaishnav, as well as Buddhism. The inscription highlighted the donation of Brahmins and Buddhist monks, showcasing their role in promoting religious harmony. So, these people of Sarapuriya dynasty, or the rulers of Sarapuriya dynasty, have given donations to both Brahmins and Buddhist monks. Now, if people talk about the architectural contribution, that is very much important. If you want, you can write it by highlighting. This is the question that is asked by Chhattisgarh PSC, right? Chhattisgarh PSC का ये बहुत favorite question. Agriculture remnants in Sirpur, such as the Lakshman temple. Sirpur area of Chhattisgarh having Lakshman temple, right? Though it was constructed later by uh, Pandu, Pandumshis, okay, may have been influenced by Sarapuriya architectural style. You have to remember that Lakshman temple is established in the Sirpur district of Chhattisgarh. They introduced intricate stone carvings and sculptures that combine Gupta aesthetic with local style. If we will talk about the literature and learning of Sarapuriya people, Sanskrit language and Prakrit language flourished in Sarapuriya time. Their inscriptions were often included poetic verses, means they were having knowledge of poems, right? Suggesting a high level of literary refinement. Scholars and poets were patronized, contributing to the region's intellectual development. So these people used to get some kind of grants or alms from the ruler, right? Like whatever kind of patronage they are doing for that, right? Now, social social and economic development. Am I going too fast? Please just let me know in the chat section. Am I going too fast? Should I be slight slow?
It is okay, sir.
It is okay. Perfect. Now, social and economic development. The Sarapuriya implemented the land grants to Brahmins and religious institutions, fostering agricultural development and social welfare. They encouraged trade and craft, while Sirpur becoming the most important center of commerce for Sarapuriya people. Now, if we will talking about their influence, Sarapuriya laid the groundwork of cultural and administrative practices. They were later adopted by Pandu Vamshis and other regional power. Pandu Vamshis is Next, succeeding power in Chhattisgarh, or you can say Dakshin Kosala. Right? Their contribution to art, region, and governance set a precedent for rulers in central India. Now, let's talk about agricultural significance. Obviously, the Sirpur site of Lakshman temple associated with Sarapuria continue to treasure trove to historical artifacts and inscriptions providing insight into their region. So we have found numerous of evidences, numerous kind of statues, we have found numerous kind of stone inscriptions from this particular Lakshman temple of Sirpur, which is defining the glorified arena of the Sarapuria people. Tarapuria dynasty. Now, the inscription from their period are valuable information, providing or offering valuable information about political, social, and cultural dynamics in early medieval India. Now, enduring impact. The Sarapuria dynasty emphasized on the regional religious harmony and cultural patronage, reflects the syncresis echoes in the ancient India, making them a significant power in Chhattisgarh. Now, इसके बाद सारापुरिया के बाद, as I told you, the next succeeding dynasty was Panduvanshi dynasty of Chhattisgarh. So, Panduvanshi is the succeeding dynasty which has succeeded Sarapuria people. The Panduvanshi dynasty ruled in Dakshin Kosala from 700 to 800 AD around, right? During this time period, they have done lots of cultural landscape of the region. They have done some contribution into the cultural enhancement of the region. Their region saw not only territorial expansion but also flourishing in arts and agriculture, evident in the numerous temples and sculptures that survive to this date. Means there are some of the sculptures and architectures of these Panduvanshi people, Panduvanshi dynasty, which is surviving today also. Now, establishment and expansion. So, though shrouded in some misery, the dynasty's origin likely to trace back in the earlier Panduvanshis of Mekala. Now, Mekala was the area of northern Chhattisgarh. So, northern Chhattisgarh area से this Mekala people have emerged. Both dynastic claimed a lunar lineage and descent from the legendary Pandavas. So they were the descendant of Pandavas of Mahabharata. So basically they were the lineage or having direct connection with Pandavas. You remember five Pandavas of Mahabharata period: Yudhishthir, Arjun, Bhim, Nakul, Sahadev. So they were these people. Panduvanshi. Okay, it is clear by their name only, Panduvanshis. They were the lineage of Pandavas, adding a layer of prestige and legitimacy to their ruling. After the decline of Sharapurias in the late 6th century, Dakshin Kosala fragmented into small territories ruled by local chiefs. So there was no organized dynasty after the end of Sarapurias. Then Panduvanshis have emerged as a significant ruler of that time period. Right? Now, the key rulers or main rulers of Panduvanshi. First one is Udayan. He is considered the founder of the dynasty. That is important. That Udayana was the founder of Panduvanshi dynasty. His region remains collective obscure due to lack of contemporary inscription. However, the later record by his successor confirms the role of establishment of dynasty. Now, so Udayana was the founder of this dynasty. Next prominent ruler was Indrabala. Just give me a moment. Just a moment here. Is it okay if I close my camera and teach you people? Will that be okay? Yes, please just let me know in the comment section. Just for yes, today's session. Yeah. Okay. Just skip. Now, the next ruler was Indrabala, a feudatory of Sharapuria. Indrabala seized the opportunity to expand his control after their decline. He credited with consolidating Panduvanshi power and establishing their capital at Shirpura, the modern Shirpur district of Chhattisgarh. So, Udayana has established Panduvanshi dynasty, while the actual founder is Indrabala. Indrabala has consolidated the areas, various areas of Panduvanshi dynasty. Next was Tiwardeva. Tiwardeva was also a significant ruler who expanded the kingdom and assumed the title of Koshladhipati. Koshladhipati means the lord or king of Koshala region. His region saw construction of numerous temples and patronage of artistic and scholarly people. So, in his time periods, Tiwar Deva, in the time period of Tiwar Deva, the Chhattisgarh region has flourished in agriculture, in archaeology, as well as in knowledge, reciting poems and everything. Next, next ruler is Nanna Raja II. He further expanded the kingdom, claiming the control over Utkala, the present Odisha. So now Nanna Raja too has expanded in the area of Odisha along with Chhattisgarh. And he was also a Pandu Vanshi. He is marked by contributed agricultural activity and cultural development. The Pandu-Vanshis considered their rule through strategic alliance military contest. Inscription suggests that Nanda Raja too, for instance, achieved the expanded dominion through the valor of his own arm. However, the extent and duration of, and control over the outside of Dakshin Kosala remain uncertain. So these people haven't got much control over the areas outside Chhattisgarh. They have only got control over the area of Chhattisgarh and northern portion of Odisha. Now, the Pandu Vanshis region or period witnessed a remarkable flowering of art and architecture, particularly in their capital, Sirpur. Now remember that Lakshman temple of Sirpur was established by which dynasty? Can anyone name? Yes. Lakshman temple of Sirpur was established by which dynasty? Before this, which dynasty we were talking about? Any idea?
Sarabhapuriya something.
Yes, Sarabapuriya. Now, the city became a major center of religious and agricultural activities, attracting the pilgrimage and scholars from various regions. If we will talk about the architecture, it has followed brick temple architecture style prevalent in the region during this period. Now, brick temple architecture style is temples were constructed by bricks rather than any stone cutting or stone carving. They have started constructing the temples by fire baked bricks, and they were influenced by Nagar Shaili of northern India or Nagar style of northern India. Yesterday, I have told you this kind of structure is Nagar Shaili structure. If we will talk about the key feature of their temples or their construction sites or their architectural sites. So first is primary building material was bricks. Elaborative carvings and sculptures on the exterior walls of the temple. So outside walls of the temples were filled with various kind of religious images narrating the Hindu stories and Buddhist stories. They have ornates, doorways, and pillars. So they have constructed various kind of gates, entry gates, and various pillars to support the structure. Now, Garbhagriha or the sanctum sanctorium, housing of the deity. So earlier it was like Nagar Shailia temple constructed like this, but again it was having a passage entry gate, and here was the area of Garbhagriha, where the gods or deities statue is established. They have also created mandapam, that is pillared hall for gathering and rituals. So they have created mandapams or large size assembly halls in the temple for prayer for, and these pillared halls can be used for providing various kind of prayers by the common people. Now, let's understand the notable temples. Lakshman temple has got its zenith or peak during the oh, Lakshman temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu. This temple is considered the masterpiece of brick temple architecture. It is renowned in intricate carvings, sculptures, and elegant portions of its structure. Next, now remember that Lakshmana temple is not created by these people, but these people decor Lakshmana temple. While the Gandhareshwar temple was created by these people, it was dedicated to Lord Shiva. As I told you earlier, there were two Shiva and Vaishnava. Shiva and Vaishnava. Two sects have emerged. So the deity of Vaishnava have their prominent temple. There was Lakshmana temple. Along with that, there were other temples like Dashavata temple, Varaha temple. But prominent temple was Lakshmana temple. While the Gandhareshwar temple was the leading temple for the followers of Shiv ideology. This temple is another example of architecture prowess of Pandu Vanshis. It reflects the unique plan with the circular sanctum, a rectangular mandapa, etc. If we will talk about the sculptural art, the Pandu Vanshis period saw a creation of numerous sculptures, mostly depicting Hindu deities and mythological scenes. They were also narrating the story of Ramayana and Mahabharata in those temples. If we will talk about the key influentials of these temples, they were motivated by Gupta and post-Gupta artistic tradition. They emphasize on naturalism and idealizing beauty. Use of sandstone and other material for construction of temple. Depiction of wide range of deities including Shiva, Durga, Ganesha, Vishnu, etc. Now, let's understand the legacy of this period. So, the art and architecture of Pandu-Vanshi period stands as a testament to the dynasty patronage, the arts and their contribution to the sorry, cultural heritage of Chhattisgarh. The temple and sculpture in Sirpur in particular continue to inspire awe and admire, offering a glimpse of the rich artistic tradition of the past. Now, today we have discussed about two dynasties, right? Panduvanshi dynasty and Tarapurya dynasty, right? Tarapurya dynasty and Panduvanshi dynasty. Tomorrow we are going to start with Somavanshi dynasty of Chhattisgarh. Now, before that, shall we start with questions? Yes. Do you people want me to start with MCQ for the day? Please just let me know in the comment section.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Sure. So, first question. Which dynasty ruled over Chhattisgarh during the period of 5th and 6th century CE? Panduvanshi, Kalchuri, Somvanshi, and Sarapuriya. 5th to 6th century, which dynasty is? It's D, Delhi. But yes, very. Now, next question. What was the likely nature of Gupta control over Chhattisgarh? How Gupta period has established control over Chhattisgarh area? Direct military rule, indirect influence through alliance, complete administrative control, no significant influence. How Gupta period people have influence over Chhattisgarh? Anyone? We have discussed that these people doesn't have direct influence, right? So its answer should be B, Bangalore. Yes. Next, which Gupta practice likely influenced land ownership pattern in Chhattisgarh? Which Gupta practice likely influenced land ownership in Chhattisgarh? So option A is standardized. Tanvi, your voice is breaking. So if possible, you people can write in the chat section. I have opened the chat section. I'll follow it. For you people, is it okay? Right? So, question number 3. Which Gupta practice likely influenced the ownership patterns of Chhattisgarh? Ownership patterns were dominated by what thing? Standardized coinage, land grants to religious institutions, decentralized administration, emphasis on military conquest. Land ownership pattern. Yes, what should be the correct answer? Tanvi, Anshika, Harshita, Malavi, please make a try. Yes, decentralized administration, Tanvi is saying. Yes, what about others? What is the opinion of others? Its answer should be B, Bangalore, land grants to religious institutions. We have seen that land ownership patterns in Chhattisgarh were influenced by Gupta period people. Gupta period people also used to grant land to the religious institutions, and the same pattern was followed by these people in Chhattisgarh also. What is the significance of Sirpur in context of Chhattisgarh history? Yes. What is the significance of Sirpur in Chhattisgarh history? What should be the correct answer? Why this area Sirpur is important? Option A. It was the capital of Gupta Empire. Yes. Option B. Bangalore. It was an important religious and cultural center of Sarapurias. It was the birthplace of Panduvanshi dynasty. Yes.
B.
No. Yes, its answer is B, Bangalore. Anshika is right. Tanvi, we have understood now. there they were having Lakshman temple, right? And which was the leading cultural and religious site of Sarapuria people. So its answer should be B, Bangalore. Yes. Next question. Which agricultural style was prevalent during the Pandu Vanshi period in Chhattisgarh? Which style was prevailing during Pandu Vanshi period? Nagara style exclusively, Dravida style exclusively, wood and bamboo construction, brick temple architecture. Which one was prevailing? Yes. Which
C.
kind of C, brick temple style? Yes, very good. Tanvi is also correct. Next, which of the following is not a key feature of Panduvanshi architecture? Which of the following is not a key feature? First, elaborative carvings and sculptures. B, use of granite as primary building material. C, ornates, doorways and pillars. Option D, garbhagriha, sanctum sanctorium. What should be the correct answer? Yes, it's B, Bangalore. Very good, Tanvi. So, acha, tell me one thing. This is additional question I'm asking. If they were not using granite as primary building material, then what was their primary building material? Is it something else except granite? Can anyone recall what it was?
Bricks.
They were using sandstone. Remember it? We have followed sandstones. Yes, bricks, but bricks were made up of sandstone, right? Now, heading next. Which dynasty strengthened the political structure and initiated cultural projects that reflected Gupta influence? Political structure has been strengthened by which dynasty?
A.
Sarabdeva?
A. Sarabdeva.
Yes, it's Sarabdeva. A. What was the primary building material used in Panduvanshi architecture? Granite, marble, brick, wood.
Granite.
Granite. No, they were not using granite. Just now we have followed that. Yes, it was C, brick. Yes, very good. Now, which ruler of Panduvanshi dynasty is credited with expanding the kingdom and assuming the title of Koshladhipati? Who has got the title of Koshladhipati?
C.
Udayana. Yes. Anshika, what you are saying? Can you please
Sir,
repeat?
C. C is the right answer.
C. C is the correct answer. Tanvi, you are also correct. Very good. That is Tivar Deva. What does the term Dakshin Kosala refers to? Dakshin Kosala means which region they are talking about. Present day Karnataka, present day Uttar Pradesh, present day Madhya Pradesh, present day Chhattisgarh and Odisha. What should be the correct answer?
C.
C, Calcutta. Yes, very good, Malavi. Yes, you are also correct, Tanvi. Which dynasty laid the foundation for development of later kingdoms in Chhattisgarh? Which dynasty led the foundation for development of later kingdoms in Chhattisgarh? Gupta Empire, Mauryan Empire, Chola dynasty, and Panduvanshi. Yes, very good, Tanvi. Panduvanshi dynasty. Now, what is the significance of Sarapuria dynasties in Chhattisgarh history? They introduced Islam in the region. They were the first rulers of the region. They were patronage to art and culture. They were known for their military conquest in southern India. Sarapuria.
C.
Yes. C. Very good. Fantastic. Now, which dynasty implemented grants, land grants to Brahmins and religious institutions, fostering agriculture and development of social welfare? Yes, what should be the correct answer? Kalchuri, Sarapuria dynasty, Panduvanshi dynasty, all of the above. Brahmins को grants किसने दिए? Which dynasty given grants to Brahmins?
B. Sarapuria.
Yes, it's B, Sarapuria. Now, so that is it for the day, guys. Next questions are based on Somanshi. architecture and so on. So we'll discuss that in the next class.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just a second. Yeah. Anyone has any doubt? कोई डाउट है किसी को भी, कोई क्लैरिटी है जो आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो मेरे से, और एवरीथिंग इज
No,
क्लियर टू
sir.
ऑल